And I wanted to be able to explain what a joke was as it pertains to this job as effectively as I could, sort of as it has pertained to me over the years. The best definition is, a joke is, number one, is the description of the outcome of events that is contrary to what is. The description of the outcome of events that is contrary to what is. You see it as an audience, you predict it because you assume what is, but the comedian takes it a different direction and makes it contrary to what you think, or it's contrary to what is. For example, 2 weeks ago, I did this piece. I go, the baseball season got off to a slow and shaky start. So immediately people are thinking baseball, they're thinking season, they're thinking I'm on stage, so I'm gonna do a joke about baseball. But me as a performer, my responsibility is to take them a different place than what they anticipate. And personally, I will sacrifice anything to do it. So, you know, baseball season got off to a slow and shaky start because Muhammad Ali threw out the first pitch. Now, you know, it's a risky piece, but it pretty much illustrates what a joke is based on who I am as a comedian. My style dictates to that sort of humor because that's what I do. And what I did is I established what the subject matter was. We took them on a journey, but when they got down to what they thought it was going to be, we took a completely different turn. If you guys don't know who Muhammad Ali is, he has, I don't want to, it embarrasses me to just tell you that he has Parkinson's and he shakes a lot. And so he threw out, and he's old. So even if this wasn't the truth, even if I just said Muhammad Ali and he hadn't thrown out the first pitch, it would still be funny. But what legitimizes the piece is that, man, this is something that actually happened. So it's not like I made it up. You know, I just took this one piece, slow and shaky start, which it did, and I added Muhammad Ali at the end. So for me, that constituted a joke. So for what I do, you find the body of whatever you want to talk about. You talk about the, I'm jumping around just a little bit. You talk about, you know, a news story, an event, a memory, or a particular act. And that's basically your setup. Okay, 3 components. Yeah, the setup, the middle, and the punch. So the setup of that particular joke, obviously, was the baseball season getting off to a slow and shaky start and whatever. Okay, now that particular one didn't have a middle just because I went straight to the punchline because, my God, I thought it was funny. But as comedians, what we do is, you know, you come up with those things. Like, you have those things in life and you say to yourself, man, I bet I can give this to a comedian and he can make it funny. Or you say, I wish there was some place that I could say this because I think it's funny. Or sometimes you will try stuff on people because, you know, you think it's funny, and then if they don't respond, you never tell them it was a joke. But then, but then when they do respond, you go, yeah, I was testing the joke out on you, you know? So that's one form. Description of outcome events contrary to what it is. And the second definition of a joke, and sort of another style, and I'll get into specifics of this style a little bit later, is the description of a humorous circumstance. And basically that caters specifically to people who tell stories on stage. Man, I mean, I know people that can engage you with a story. It's sort of this Mark Twain thing. I mean, guys can get you involved in a story. I think the most popular comedian right now that does it is Kevin Hart. Mm-hmm. Kevin Hart will get you engaged in a story, and the way he describes a sequence of events keeps you engaged the entire time. Another good friend of mine who's really sick right now, Ron Schott, is probably the best of it. He's known as the storyteller. Another local guy, Tom Hester, you know, you can watch him for 30 minutes and he'll get just maybe 3 stories, you know, 3 jokes in 30 minutes because, you know, he just tells these long stories. So number 2 is the description of a humorous occurrence. Now, some of you guys may be able to do that. You know if you can or not. You know if something happens, like if you're one of those people that at the end of every story, funny story, you have to say, I guess you had to be there, then you want that number 2. You know, you can't describe, and I'm that person too. I cannot, man, for the life of me, if something happens and it takes a long time for me to like recreate, you know, the humor that was associated with this really funny thing that happened, I will screw it up every time, and because I know I write very short attention span, ADD type material. You know, I am a one-liner sort of rant guy, you know, with variety. So again, number one, the first description is description of the outcome of events that is contrary to what is, and two is the description of a humorous circumstance. Any questions?